here. Let's get this. Let's just hang it off there.
We eat so much anymore. I always want to cook Neil was great. I could show off for all 6 of my sister-in-laws and his family. I used to, I didn't have anybody to show off for anymore. So
It's heavy too because a lot of it work. I like that just with the weight of it.
he wants meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes.
Mean potatoes? What are mean potatoes?
Meat,
Yeah, not me and potatoes. No, thank you.
meat and potatoes. That's what it is.
Oh, mean potatoes.
So go right onto the carrot.
Well, yeah. Let's let everybody catch up real
I like
quick.
the white one better.
So tiny.
How about you?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh, you were, yeah.
It's
This
so
one I
nice.
didn't like
French
how it
fries,
rounded.
like you said, you like these sherbets.
I like
I'm
the
about
white
hungry.
better.
And I make soup, I like big hunks of everything.
Okay.
My grandmother used to do it. I like it to be like
You're
stew.
like, yeah, you're like rustic. You like
Yeah,
rustic.
that's right.
What are we doing with the carrot?
And I'll ask him, I don't want to see the bottom of the
Just-
plate. Everybody gets
All right.
okay.
Let's clean up the celery, and let's move on to the carrot. I'll show you what we're going to do with the carrot.
Mimi. Oh, she sounds stupid.
At this time.
At this time, oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Not good.
Daddy, see you about 3 in the morning.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is basically the same thing with the carrot. And carrots are a little bit harder, so this is going to be a different kind of challenge.
I like to read the julienne.
I just did carrots about an hour ago.
Okay. Well, sorry to make you again. Okay, so with carrots, I always chop the ends off because they're usually kind of dead and gross. And in this case, the same thing. I'm going to start from the skinny end.
Wait, I'm sorry.
One of the cool things that you can do is most nutrients in carrot, anything grown in the ground, the nutrients are basically in the skin.
Right.
So when you take a peeler or a thick piece of the skin off, you're losing most of the good stuff.
Right.
So these, I use the paring knife, and you can use, not the sharp part, but the back of the blade,
That's right.
and you can just scrape that layer of dead skin, and you save the nutrients, and they end up feeling like the little mini carrots that are chemically burned,
Right.
and they feel fuzzy like that. These are not chemically burned, but they're clean. So that's one of the things you can do with the carrot. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to take my knife, and I'm going to cut this carrot down the middle. Now carrots, because they're harder, you're not just going to be able to drag the knife like you did with the celery. So in this case, you'll see I'm kind of using the knife to saw up and down a little bit, and I'm doing it nice and slowly, okay? So when it comes to carrots, because they're harder, hard foods don't become soft with a sharp knife, right? If I'm cutting squash, it's still really hard. I can have a better knife than, some knives are better than others. Some knives are better than others to do that with, but nonetheless, the material's still hard. So with carrots, the same thing. So it's still hard, so again, just take your time and be careful. So I'm going to take the knife, I'm going to drag it through, and I've got it now half for one knife and half for the other. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. Now it's flat, so it's not going to fight me at all, which is nice. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to drag it. Again, I'm just practicing my high cut. Now I can practice. I'm going to do basically exactly what we just did with the celery. So I'm going to chop this one up.
Now that's rustic.
There you
Now we
go.
go, that's rustic.
And then I'm going to do my cross chop with this. And then I'm going to use the black knife so I can switch. So basically exactly what you just did with the celery, we're going to do with the carrot.
You want me to peel it?
You can if you want to shape it. If you want to try that, you're welcome to. But we're just mostly practicing chopping
I can't
skills.
remember. You start with the note.
I start with the skinny end because it's easier to aim on the fat end, but it's harder to start dragging through the fat end.
Oh, thank
And then if anybody wants to use the little guy to play with after you play with the big one for a little bit, the little chopper's over here too. You're going too fast, you forgot to move the knife over. See? It's all about technique, not speed. You can go as fast as you want, straight up and down. You're not cutting anything.
you. Didn't make it even.
There you go, Lisa. You're doing it perfectly. I know it doesn't feel perfect, but you're technique-wise take your time, kind of poke it through, stab it through. There you go, perfect. Again, remember you're always dealing with super sharp tools. The sharper they are, the easier they are to work with, but you also got to respect them and be careful.
And the carrot is kind of flexible.
Yeah, carrots are a little more challenging. That's why we want those second. If anybody's struggling with the carrot, go ahead and try the little chopping knife. And then again, Marianne, if you move it, use more of the back part of the blade.
This one.
Yeah, you can move it there. You
This is
go.
like a little meat cleaver almost. The style of it.
It's because it's wide. Yeah.
I use a lot of space when I'm in the kitchen. I tell Tom, get out of my space.
By the way, like I said, we're using this.
Harry never came back.
We're using the small cutting boards because of space. We have
Yeah.
medium and large cutting boards as well, just so you know.
She missed a couple of them.
I'm saying we have medium and large cutting boards as well, so I know this feels like a small cutting space.
He makes
She missed
delicious
the,
hash.
And you're talking about the guaranteed.
Okay. Eileen, are you not a Cutco owner? Are you familiar with Cutco at all, or is
I've
this your
never
first?
had a knife like this, no.
Okay. So yeah, one of the things about
I've been in the kitchen as a cook for a long time too.
one of the things about Cutco is we have a forever guarantee on our products. If anything ever happens to it, we fix or replace it for free. We sharpen for free as well as part of our guarantee. So we're talking about the guarantee. The other thing about our cutting boards is they're also guaranteed. So at some point in time, when they get scratched and stained or whatever, we can replace them for you. Free of charge.
For the carrot, I like this one better.
Would you maybe?
Okay, if you haven't switched knives yet, go ahead and switch knives so you can practice with the carrot with both knives.
You can make some soup. I should take.
One thing I will tell
I
you,
should have taken it home.
real quickly, I see a lot of you guys scraping with the knife angled. It's easier to scrape with the knife angled backwards. If you push it like this, the blade's going to end up catching, and it's going to be annoying. If you scrape away, I don't like the backside because the knife is actually designed to be used like this. So you're supposed to do this. It's like a spackle,
You want to use the blade? Is that what you're saying?
yeah. But instead of pointing it like that,
Done?
point it backwards, like let it drag. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
towards you and then push.
there you go.
I've changed 50 years of cooking one way.
Okay, Marianne.
All right.
Give me a
Are you guys switching now? Is that what we have to do? Are you got to do your other half?
Sorry, I didn't clean it off right.
Whichever one.
That one looks better than the bigger one
Well, you've got the. Does anybody want to use the little? Does anybody feel like they need to use the little one?
though. I just want to feel how it. I like the little one. I like this one best, but then I like the little one. I don't like that big one.
I'm used to the rocking stuff. I like the rocking. I'd like to see if the one with my desk, the bevel could come back a little bit. They really screwed it out.
You don't have as much notice. It's with the carrots. You don't have as much leverage because it's shorter, right?
Where's the little one?
She's got it.
She's got it. I see her.
One of the
Oh, okay.
one of the things you'll find with the short one, when you're doing something hard, it's not as easy. The length gives you more
Right.
pressure that you can use more of the tool to wedge through. So although it's nice, it's different. So, try that. Who else wanted this? Shirley, do you want?
No, so I don't have any more carrots. I just
I've
was
always been
wondering
used
the
to put my
size of
hand
it.
on
we
the
got
top.
carrot.
Yeah,
We got lots of
me
carrots.
too.
And the hand on
Rather
top.
than just,
No, but I know
on this butter bean.
So again, you notice.
Chopping something all the time too.
So again, the technique is key because the foods are going to be different. But if your technique is always correct, then you're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, you cook for somebody, everybody appreciates no matter what you make. Nobody hardly cooks from scratch anymore.
Oh,
A few people do, but not much.
you're talking to the pros, Shirley and Sandy.
I liked when I had
So
it
Tona, what do you think of that one?
I like this.
You like the little one?
That's a good poke.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get these cleaned up, and then we'll do the potato, and then we'll get you going on the salsa.
Potato, potato. I didn't offer to bring something. I said, oh my God, I'm bringing something to the chop again. So I brought some salad. It was chopping, but it was a lot bigger yesterday.
Okay. So one of the things that people always want to know is cutting potatoes and how do you cube potatoes? What's the easiest way to cut French fries? Well, this knife again is awesome. So one of the things, whenever you're cutting something round, you always want to either, if it has a natural resting place, that's helpful. The other thing I can do is I can just take a little piece off of it, and then it's gonna sit there and not roll around. Okay, so that's the other thing I can do. So when it comes to doing things like French fries, so we're gonna do French fries, then we'll do like cubes or home fries, and then we'll do hash browns. And all you're doing is using the knife real simply. So in this case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the knife, I'm gonna pinch around the knife, and basically you just cut as thick or thin as you want your end product to end up being. So if I'm gonna do French fries, let's say I want skinny French fries. So I'm gonna cut this about a 1/2 inch, actually about a 1/4 inch. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of the ends off, roll it back over to the next flat side, and I'm gonna do the same thing again this way. So right now I've got discs, and I'm just gonna do the same thing, and I'm gonna have French fries after I get done slicing them this way. So now I got French fries just by making a few cuts, right? It's super simple. If I want cubes, now I've got cubes, right? So I just cut them again the next way. So now I've got, hash browns or home fries or whatever you want to call that style, cubes. And then if I want real fine hash browns, now I'm just going to do my cross chop and mince them back down into smaller, tinier pieces. Real simple, right? Like, it seems ridiculous. Like, that used to be so hard for me to do because I didn't know how to use this. So I would slice them and then I'd lay them flat and slice them again, and then I'd lay them flat and slice them again this way. And it takes like 45 minutes. This, 2 seconds, right? I mean, it's really super awesome when you know how to use these tools. So again, with the potato, I just want you to, again, practice. It doesn't matter which knife you use, whichever one you like best. So again, we're just going to take the potato and you're going to slice it a bunch of times this way. Get rid of the one end. Roll it back over onto the flat spot. Then cut it this way a couple times. And again, I instantly got French fries. And then I can cut it down to cubes and then keep going. So just grab a potato and just kind of play with it. Go to town. And then we'll clean up and then get the salsa going.
Am I doing this right?
So far. No blood.
Thank God.
Where'd that little guy go? Here, let's grab the little one. See if that is easier for you. It's definitely going to be easier for you to control. It's a little bit harder because you don't have as much leverage with it,
Yeah,
but it's way easier to control. So one of the things you guys will find is if you're not holding it, it falls apart, right?
Right, but my hot potato won't stay put.
So this will get better over time as you practice and get used to using the knife and how to hold the food and all that.
Very good. Voila.
And the knife, you can see the knife needs to be really sharp in order to do this, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to do this and the knife isn't sharp, what's going to happen? It's going to push the food all apart. As you try to push into it, it's not going to cut it, it's going to squish it, and it'll just push everything apart.
The whole thing out. I was supposed to only cut half.
No, you're fine. No, yeah, this is the end of the practice, so we're just...
I'm sliding across. I can't hold it in place. Down, boy, down.
And Yeah, there you go. Well, flip it over now. You want it to be resting on a flat spot. So there you go. And you can, yeah, there you go. There you go.
Can I try the little one?
I must not have this sack right here.
For the potato, it might be.
There you go. The little one's 118, the big one's 130.
Just can't seem to hold it together.
I have that problem every day.
I'm feeling it this anyway. They're not gonna be
Some potato
uniform,
over
that's
there.
for sure. The potato wasn't great.
I was going
I
for number
did,
two.
look at it. There's on the edge.
Okay.
A little more room. I have short fingers.
Okay.
Oh,
A little more room to put your hand.
Here's one that was like-
All right, if you guys want to get your cutting boards cleaned up,
I'm supposed to chop.
For me,
Well, I have one potato kind. You like the long one?
if you want to, this is 100% plant-based cleaner, so it's food grade. It is safe. So if you want to clean off your cutting board before we go to the salsa, that's you don't want your salsa tasting like potatoes.
I love good salsa.
I think it's right. My potato's terrible. I would think it.
What grade do you want, girl?
I know, I want potato.
I can't even get it in the hole. What's that?
Oh, spring's.
Looks like my kitchen is working. I use
I
every utensil I own practically.
I'm in a different place. I'm in a different partner over here.
That down like
Cindy, you need this spray.
This to spray around.
What are we rubbing down with?
The spray, did you get the spray?
No.
The spray's over there, it's going around.
Tastes good in the salsa.
Who needs it?
Oh,
You need it?
Pretty good.
Maria needs it.
It tastes good though.
What's that?
What's that, Hunter?
Thank you. When somebody hasn't pulled your knife out, I'm like, yeah. I'm waiting, she's really nice right there. Go for it.
Cleaner knife.
No blood.
That's good. Thank you, Lord.
Look at the cuts on the board.
Okay, sparkly.
$8.99.
Paper towel, ladies.
Oh, that would be nice.
Okay.
It smells good. That smells
Pardon?
clean.
He's from Michigan. That invented this.
No, he's not from
Yeah, you
Michigan.
can-
No,
I did.
it is a U.S. product, but it's not a Michigan product. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I have.
I think I see
Okay.
the counters.
Yes, that.
So what we're going to do is we're all going to make our own little portion of salsa. So everybody's going to have their own little cup. Everybody's going to get the basic ingredients, and then I'm going to show you. You're going to basically use your skills that we just learned to break this to make your own salsa. Okay?
And this stuff won't taste like it, has no,
This-
spray, the spray.
You can lick your cutting board right now and see what it tastes like.
She'd rather not.
I passed
You
that.
offered, yes.
I was just teasing. I would make sure there's no residue left, but no, it's not gonna hurt you.
See?
How's it taste?
There is a taste to
Is
it.
there? She just
On the side, there is
She called my bluff. I was teasing her, and she's like, okay, I'll do
there
it.
is a taste to it.
Okay,
Don't use it blue.
Smells like celery.
so
Split it with you.
I think I went overboard on using it.
okay, so what we're gonna do is basically the technique we just did with the potato. I'm gonna do with the tomato. Okay, so in this case, I'm gonna take the tomato, and I'm gonna dice it up into small pieces. So I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna slice it sideways. This is gonna be a little more challenging because this is slipperier, yeah. So I slice it that way, and I'm gonna again get the butt end off so I can lay it on the flat side. Okay. Now here's the key as you guys are using this. Instead of just pushing the knife through, okay, instead of just pushing the knife through, I take and I put the knife down and I pinch it around the sides, and then I'm gonna slice, use the knife and let it kind of do its thing. Okay, so I'm not pushing hardly at all, and you can see this stuff sliding around trying to come apart.
And it
So
helps that you got a bigger hand, like my husband does.
it does.
You know, it really does.
I have hand privilege, I guess. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Okay. So again, do your best to kind of keep it. You can see it's not in order perfectly, but it's kind of all in the same. And then I'm going to take it, and I'm going to again. In this case, I'm sawing. I'm letting just because if I just push, it might work, but it also is more likely to fall apart. So I'm just going to slice and dice these little guys up. One of the other things that I like about these knives is I can take and scoop my food. The Santoku is a little bit wider than the French, so it holds a little bit more as far as surface area. So everybody's going to get one Roma tomato, and we're going to slice this bad boy up.
Did you wash the tomatoes?
I did, everything is washed. That's why there's so much water everywhere. Yes, everything is washed. Yes. I'm a man, but I'm an adult. So everything is here. Okay.
Right here, yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to take an onion